So what I'm doing is I'm putting the miter gauge on to help support the top and bottom rails. The sides, again, are the stiles. So you're not doing anything with the tongue to fit into these grooves. So go ahead and take the stiles out of the picture, and we're only going to do the top and bottom rails. We're going to do both sides of that. I am putting a larger fence on the miter gauge to help support this, and I can even adjust this, and I can actually cut into this a little bit. And what that's going to do is hopefully it's going to help relieve some tear out and chipping here. So you could put a sacrificial piece of wood on the miter gauge to eliminate that. Obviously when you go this way it's not going to splinter, but when you flip it over it's going to tear out here. So I'm going to see if I can reduce that some. So we've adjusted the blade from the fence to the outside of the blade. The depth of the cut, we went there, 3/8 of an inch. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run these, I'm going to set this up so I don't have to move the fence anymore. I measured from the fence to the outside of the blade like I just said, and I'm going to do a test piece and see how it fits. It's always going to be safer to do this on a scrap piece, and I purposely didn't go up high enough to see that you can see that this is a little too tight. So again, it's a hair too tight. I'll turn that around better there. It's a hair too tight. So I got to be very careful how much I raise the blade because I need to remove some wood from each side. So I'm going to raise the blade up a half a hair and cut that again. I didn't purposely cut it all the way through because I knew it was going to be close, but always do this on a test piece of wood that's the same thickness of what you're using. So I'm going to adjust the blade up a little bit. Come over here. We can show a picture here. Cut the tongue on all four pieces. We've cut the groove on all four, the top and bottom rails and stiles. This should fit in. And we don't want to be super tight, but we don't want to be super loose. And before you walk away from the saw, make sure that you have that fitting on all of them. So when it's time to cut the panel to fit inside, what I like to do without even using a tape measure is I like to set the top or bottom rail in between the fence and the blade. So if I move this over here and I adjust this till I get this fitting right up against that, that's the same width as the length of the top and bottom rail. But to allow for expansion and contraction, we want the panel to be a hair smaller. Now if you're using Spaceballs or something, someone might tell you a different size to cut it. I'm going to make it a 1/16 less than this. So I'm going to take this, I'm going to move the fence in a 1/16 of an inch. Now I'm going to see the panel or the rail does not fit through there anymore. So if I use this as a measuring tool for cutting the panel, the 1/4 inch panel, it's going to be a hair smaller than the top and bottom rail, and that's what we're after. So let me cut that. So it's just a hair smaller. On this side you can see a hair smaller. And that's what we're after.